Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us this evening on the Premium Business Masterclass. My name is Khutsafalo, and I'm so excited because today we're going to be having exciting conversations with two of our guests, and guess who is in the building. Let me greet everyone who's watching on YouTube, on LinkedIn, every one of you who's watching on the Facebook page, whichever page that you're watching from, all the friends of our guests today who are also watching this broadcast. We want to say good evening to you, and we're going to have a good time today because we're going to be talking about things that are going to empower you as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an innovator, as somebody who wants to build yourself to become something in life. This broadcast we produce to you every single Thursday evening by the Launchit Studios in partnership with Standard Bank and also the Whole Life Botswana. Guess who's in the building? But I'll tell you, stick around.
Let's find new ways to make dreams possible. Whether you are dreaming about starting a new business, securing a good future for your family, buying a new home, or owning a new car, your dream becomes real the moment you believe it can be. Hoka Kgonega with Stanbic Bank Botswana. Your dreams matter.
Welcome back to the Premium Business Masterclass. Before we go into any show, a lot of things has been happening this week, and towards the end of the show, we're going to take a quick recap, looking at some of the updates that affect you as an entrepreneur, and some of you have questions about the things that you've been seeing passing by government to affect you as an entrepreneur, and also the things that you've been doing. But anyway, tonight we have special guests, Lala and Penenes in the building. So we're gonna have a conversation with them later on. Do stick around. But my next guest tonight on the show, she's an underwriter. She does all sorts of stuff, and she was a speaker at the Forbes Under 30 Summit that just ended. And imagine I think there was about 2-3 Botswana who was speaking there. One gentleman and actually 2 young women, and she was one of those young women who were speaking in that particular time. So she's here with us on the show, and we're going to be talking about her experience at the Forbes 30 Under 30, the work that she does at the company where she works, and many of the other things that she's involved in the life that she's in. Her name is Mamsi Amantle Moremi, or Amantle Mamsi Moremi. I hope I got that right. Amantle, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I want to give you the time to really, I know I've spoke about in length about the things that you do and so on and so forth, but I want to give you the time to be the one to talk about you, what you do, and I have other questions that are lined up here.
Right. Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm very grateful, and a very warm welcome and evening to your listeners today. My name is Amantle Mamsi Moremi. Yeah. And Mamsi is my real name, it's not a pet name.
Serious?
Yeah, I'm an underwriter.
This name is on your ID?
It's on my ID, it's on my birth certificate.
Okay.
Mamsi.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm an underwriter. I work at Botswana Insurance Company. This is a subsidiary of BIHL, Botswana Insurance Holdings Limited. I've been working there for about 3 years now. I got to the workspace immediately when I finished school. So the transition was exciting and very shocking, you know, because from school, you have the freedom to do what you want or submit your assignments when you want, control your own time, but then you walk into the work environment and it's a different ballgame altogether. But I've grown.
Obviously, yeah. and you're one of the young people who were invited to speak. Is it invited? Selected. Privileged.
Selected.
Selected to speak, because I know a lot of people would have wanted such kind of an opportunity. But you had it. Amongst you were speaking in the same stage, with Bo Patrice Motsepe, the President of the Republic. Who else was there? A whole bunch of people. And high-profile people. And you're there as one of the young people who were speaking. I know people would ask you the questions of how was it like, but I want to take a step back behind, the days that were leading to. Let me start here. How was it like when you knew and learned that you're going to be speaking at this kind of a platform?
I could not hold myself together. I was just properly elated. I was so excited. And then when the excitement came down, I was like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? What am I going to say? How am I going to say it? So a lot of thoughts started running through my mind. I was wondering how I'm going to address a delegation of 600 people, if I'm going to say the right thing, if I'm going to structure it properly. But I'm like, if you're really comfortable and if you're true in what you're delivering, the message you're delivering, then you've got this. So moments leading up to that, it was all about preparation and understanding that this is a privilege and you're only speaking your mind, you're only speaking your thoughts, your beliefs, so Mamsi, you're fine. So that's how I got to be comfortable in my own space and in that space as well. Because remember, I was speaking, in front of like the names you've been mentioning, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, Mr. Randall Lane, H.E. himself. So I just had to believe in my own truth and what I was delivering.
I see. Yeah. I remember the time when your panel was being called up, and the way in which they will line you guys up, and then they'll mention your names, and then you get to sit down. I think your panel was moderated by Yandile.
Miss Yandile Nugu.
Yes, and you had the other gentleman from here, and you had other people that were speaking. What was that panel about? And because I want to hear, sometimes when you are in that platform, you get the question that is asked to you to answer, and then afterwards you are like, this was the way I understand. Now you understand the question much better, and this is how you would want to, answer that. How would you answer that question today?
I think I didn't formulate the answers to my questions after the panel. Everything that I said in that moment was absolutely true in that moment. So we're discussing the opportunities that we have as African businesses, especially me in the private sector, and how we're contributing towards the growth of small businesses, and how our product offering is basically adding value to the greater economy, right? And our focus mostly was on collaboration. That is the message we've been speaking between private companies and also public companies. So if we walk into that space where we're able to merge our efforts together, then we're well on our way to growth, to opportunities. And that is basically what Forbes was about. It was a platform for young people to take advantage of the compendium of information that is available to them. And that is what the conversation was about. And not only that, but the steps going forward to say, okay, we've deliberated, we've spoken on these things, but when we walk out of here, what are we saying? What are the things that we're going to do? And these are the conversations that are being held by young people currently, like yourselves, like myself, in rooms where they've been able to meet people who hold their hands to propel themselves forward. So I think that conversation was very important, and especially for our time right now.
I want us, as we conclude the conversation, to speak about, there's a lot of people that look at themselves in these spaces where they work in corporate, and because they don't have this entrepreneurial mind, they don't see themselves as people that could actually, get to platforms like you did. And I'm sure it doesn't only take, grace, selection by grace, but there is some level of, groundwork that you put on yourself, how you believe in the opportunity in yourself, and then also the mindset that you portray in growing within an organization. Because the organization where you work, I think they look at the talent and they realize there's talent here, and then they also give you the opportunities based on what you are putting as an input. So what would you say to somebody who's watching right now? They don't even see it in themselves to one day be anything much bigger, but they've got that potential that could take them somewhere.
Go for it. That is the thing. You just need to go for it. I would have never for the life of me imagined sitting as a panelist in Forbes 30 Under 30. Never in my wildest dreams. So when the opportunity came, I was like, go for it. The thing is, I would have never known that I would have made it had I not done it. Right? So not asking a question means that the answer will always be no. But if you ask the question, you are then able to figure out if it's a no or a yes.
100%.
So even if you don't have any creative entrepreneurial skills like everybody else does, you just appoint somebody to do it on your behalf. It's not that you don't have the idea, it's just that you may be lacking the skill. You don't have to have the skill.
I see.
You just have to have the vision, the direction. So if you have the skill and the vision and direction, you're good to go. So I feel like we really need to step up to a place where we believe in what we want to do, and we are steadfast and unshakable, because at the end of the day, you can only go as far as you perceive.
100%. And I know you and my next guest have met at some point, in your growing up. I want you to tell me about that time when you saw him. Did you think he was going to be like the person that everybody sees him to be right now at that particular time?
Not at all.
So what was your first impression of the little Pinini that you saw?
Actually, the same as now. He has always been a comedian. So we met at a boot camp. It was an all schools boot camp in Khanti, I think, just when we finished our Form 5. So there were, I don't remember the number of schools precisely, but there were a number of students who
he
were
was able
chosen
to stand out of such kind of a crowd.
He was. He did then, and he's still doing it today.
Yeah.
Really commendable what he's doing. It's
Yeah.
really great. He's really stepped out into what he thinks works for him. His creative side has really spoken for him, and he's doing really well. And I commend him for that. Well done.
Yeah, look at the both of you. I mean, you speak at Forbes, and he's well known all over so many different communities,
Yeah.
and he's going to be joining us after this. Let me take the time to really thank you for and congratulate you for all the work that you are doing. You know, you inspire a lot of people that you don't know about. This is the other thing I got to learn.
Yeah.
As long as you are a human being who wakes up in the morning to pursue something, there are people that see you even when you don't. There is what people think of you even when you don't know about that thing. And sometimes we always say, I don't inspire anyone. But the truth is, somebody who sees you every day and they're like, if I could only be at least half of that person,
Then I know I have everything.
then I've made it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that you inspire in that regard.
And
Thank you
I
for
have
coming
a
to
lot
the
of
show.
people who inspire me. So thank you.
All the best. So we're going to take a quick break. When you come back, we're going to be having a conversation with my next guest tonight, Benin.
Meaningful sponsorships improve lives. That's why we create and support initiatives that make a real difference by engaging, inspiring, and uplifting communities. It's just one of the ways Hollard ensures better futures.
Let's find new ways to make dreams possible. Whether you are dreaming about starting a new business, securing a good future for your family, buying a new home, or owning a new car, your dream becomes real the moment you believe it can be. Go ka kgonega with Stanbic Bank Botswana. Your dreams matter.
Welcome back to the Premium Business Masterclass. Joining me tonight on the show is Penene Ponono. He's a comedian, he's an artist, and most importantly, I think such a delightful human being to watch, you know, to listen to, and also learn a lot from him. And he's joining us for the very first time on the Premium Business Masterclass. I think this is the time if you have any question, you know, proper questions that you ask him if I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So if you put those on your chat box on YouTube and also Facebook, on LinkedIn as well, wherever you're watching this broadcast from, please do engage with our guest. And everyone who's joining us from his page again, I think this will be the second time I'm appearing on that page. now officially. Benin, thank you very much for joining us and welcome to the set.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, Mr. Khutsafalo.
It's a real pleasure.
No, yeah.
The thing that I want to start about here is that a lot of people see you now and they see the things that you do. Some of them are learning about you more, about your recent developments as a human being. But I want us to take a journey back to when you were growing up. The first time you realized that I probably might have a talent that could, like the Bible says that the gift of a man makes room for him and present him before great men. I think that's what has happened to you. Your gift has given you what you have now, and where does it really come from?
Yeah.
So you're free to answer however you want.
Yeah, so I grew up in Zolamdeni. I grew up in Siliba Pikwe, actually, Botshabelo we call Botshabelo Zola. It's called Zolamdeni. So, so I grew up in a poor family, of which I thing like more family in a talk about. So, it's original talent, 10 years. I standard 4. Yeah, so haning nothing again namo society no sengwa. So I was one of malitiana banere, tshwantse gore ke apare, tshwantse gore re di shop re go senya, and you know how it is to grow up in a society and thing. So mare gape we do believe that every ghetto youth is a star. Mokasi. We had that thing hela ya go tswa re le malate re tebere re bina, kasitens, no gona le ba my African dream, that's where we gained confidence, from kasi hela confidence amo kasi re kopanya re no re dirang group hela re bine majita, and that's what we call team up ko guys. Ke gona ha re simotseng go itse family. So Zolamdeni family, you understand? Kasi re simolola go dirisana re itse or no majentse ra apara di-t-shirt tse di tshweu, ra apara di-t-shirt tse di ntsenyana. So we had to go and steal those t-shirts in order for us to gore re nne presentable mo stage, you understand?
Yeah, and because you grew up in such a neighborhood, some of us, like up until we still I am traumatized by walking, even driving through such streets, and I think a lot of people have thoughts around people that grew up from that such kind of neighborhoods. I had an interview. I was interviewing Vima and PZ 2020, and I asked him the same question. He grew up in similar neighborhoods, and we see from outside what we judge and say, but Wakozola, there's no future, this and that and that and that. Would you say the same thing about the neighborhood, that the way you see it?
Okay, right now we have social media. We have social media platforms. Right now, batho ba bantsi ba na le di-phone, le bona malitinyana ba na le di-phone, whereby ba khona go ithuta dilo tse dintsi, whereby right now somebody from Kasi is watching this interview, somebody is learning from this interview. You understand? So ne le khanya thoko gompieno go tile the organization dilo tse dintsi, we are no longer in that era of bushes, you understand? So Kasi has a talent channel, you understand? Those kids are talented, and the likes of Boma Fitla Khosi, those kids are very talented, and they've been showing talent that's you understand? So Kasi hanka ka gora ke Kasi e tshwana le pelo whereby no khona gore re a sekolo mphakela be re tlhela motho a thoka heads mo tseleng kana mo passaging, you understand? So Kasi is no longer like that. Kasi is Kasi. Life ya Kasi, we want to make money ka life ya Kasi, you understand? What we saw re gola re batla go se tsenya mo di camera, you understand? So that people can relate, people can see okay, this is what was happening mo Kasi and all stuff, because bana ba bangwe ba godile soft, you understand? Ha ba gola ba sokolo. So re batla go supentsha. No, yeah, correct. The thing is, you understand?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So, bana ba bangwe ba godile ba le ba bangwe hela ba goletse mo di sa ba bong, but they don't know dilo tse dingwe tsa ko Kasi. Ba bona gore ba di itse ke gore rona really creatives, we have to take that thing and then put it on camera so that ba khona go bona oh ntwana ke ntwana go zola. So ha ke ipo ke 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 ntwana go zola because nka utso di camera tse di ha zo. I want people to learn from it.
So here's the question I want us to get into. You are creative, and I love that, and I love the vision that you have, because we're now alone. You like, you know, pulling some of the guys that are around you with you.
Yeah.
And you're a comedian, you're an artist. I want us to talk about your story, you know, in this work. Recently, I think you also got arrested for whatever reason while you were doing other work that you were doing. That never broke your spirit. And you still came back again, and you continue doing what you were doing. You did a tour recently. I think you're still doing a tour right now, even as we speak. You sing even in some parts of the country. You were in Kasani the other time. You were in Zowa the other time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of things that are also lined up going forward. If there was one thing that you really wanted people to understand about you as a person, as a creative, what would that thing be?
Okay. One thing I said last time I was arrested last year, I said they took me to prison thinking that I would be forgotten, but they didn't know the opposite was the answer. That's what I said, because I grew up in the ghetto, and 2016 I was arrested.
This wasn't the first time.
Yeah, 2016 I went to prison. I was arrested in Malaysia's damage to property and robbery. That's when I became the best stand-up comedian in Botswana. I registered like the presidential. That's when I realized, okay, Benin, you have talent, you know. You've been doing this, you know. So that's when I registered like the presidential. That's when I scooped my first award. Lieutenant General Sesarata Kama. That's when because so that's when I realize, okay, Penini, this and this and this, you understand? So I can only case but from there, discharge and acquitted. So last year, I agree, you know, you can have a case, but you know, also mention so that's when last year we get discharged and acquitted from prison, because you have to be on a trial, and then trial prison, you understand? So a lot of people never see you understand? So as a sociology change some other time oh Benin was this guy, but Benin right now is this guy. Because you understand? So yeah.
And I like the way you are writing your story for us to learn from it. And then you were in prison 2016. You were in prison during COVID 2021, and there was the other time we met, you were telling me this, that you had a moment of realization to yourself, like the Penini that you are now isn't the Penini that you were. I mean, for example,
yeah, I have a baby girl right now. You understand? So
yeah. So I want you to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, you know, this thing, a lot of guys are famous right now in Botswana. You know, you know, I never went to school as a comedy. You understand? I'm stand-up comedian, but I am the best stand-up comedian in Botswana. You understand? A lot of people do believe that Benin is good in stand-up comedy, you know. So harana the workshop, we don't have those workshops at normally okay, la patol. So hona na rabata le tsenyano ra bona re ngwana re bata go mo beta yano. You understand? So it's time rona re le majita re le moga ya okay, gormente ha ka ka re tsa o ka re meet halfway, ya ka re meet halfway re tsene dikolo and all stuff, but gormente ha re ka re emela gormente wa ntshwara. So dingwaga di ya tsamaya. So that's why mona go ya gompieno bana ke go ra I want to be this Benin, and ke go ithuta go ira yalo nna e seng ke ile sekolo, because I have to take this thing as a business. You understand? My name is Bokamoso Ntompe, and I'm Bokamoso Ntompe, and then there is Benin Bonon, which is a company. Bokamoso Ntompe is an actor as penene ponono and bokamoso nthompe ke eno e reng ga penene ponono a tswa mo tsela ba mora re penene ponono o tswa mo tseleng bokamoso nthompe it's also a manager mo go penene ponono is a company e leng gore to that's why le gompieno ana ke gore kere I'm no longer in that era of bushes wa bona ya bo gore okay penene o famous re ja bana go iragala yana you know so I take this thing as a business wa bona so that's why ke na le baby girl because soon ke batla go iketsa mo goeng go na le mo re ke go bitsa nna ke re
people may misunderstand that statement. But anyway, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. We're chilling on the studio right here with Bukamoson Tompe, aka Benene Podnono, the Russian tycoon. Let's take a quick break. When you come back,
Let's find new ways to make dreams possible. Whether you are dreaming about starting a new business, securing a good future for your family, buying a new home, or owning a new car, your dream becomes real the moment you believe it can be. Hoka kgonega with Stanbic Bank Botswana. Your dreams matter.
Meaningful sponsorships improve lives. That's why we create and support initiatives that make a real difference by engaging, inspiring, and uplifting communities. It's just one of the ways Holland ensures better futures.
Let's find new ways to make dreams possible. Whether you are dreaming about starting a new business, securing a good future for your family, buying a new home, or owning a new car, your dream becomes real the moment you believe it can be. Hoka kgonega with Stanbic Bank Botswana. Your dreams matter.
we'll come back to the conversation, and I think this is the last part of this of the segment where we're talking to my guest tonight, Benene Bonono, who is telling us his journey as a comedian and also as an actor and also as a musician. And let's talk about, you are still telling me about, you know, how the vision is about the separating yourself as an entity away from Benene to being you yourself. And I think you're also still trying to explain how, you know, recently people have started seeing you more online with Lala. I think at first it sounded like a joke to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you later about those things, but right now I want you to share the vision that you were about to share, how, you know, both of you are building brands together, but also separately at the same time, so that you have independent brands that can actually go forward to achieve whatever they are designed to.
Okay. Benene, it's a very big brand. So Lala is a brand. So Harakopan, it will repeat the Russian tycoons. Understand?
Yeah.
So Harakopan so you understand? So Hararatana, but there is always business, you understand? And then there is always family. You understand? Harakopan repeats Russian tycoons. Harlema business.
Yeah. And what inspires you to come up with this kind of a name?
Oh, Russian tycoon.
Because this is a very dangerous word right now, especially when Russia is up against the world.
I've been,
but I get what you're meaning.
Yeah, I have this brother of mine, video alamlam, so rata go mpha maina, you know, mpitsa maketa matona, maketa Russia ke ntse ke le late yana ke go la bana. So maketa Russia, so bogo la ha ke nna famous, batho ba simolla ke batho etsa gore oh ke maketa matona Russia ke ipoka ba bana. So go ise go nne le mikubukubu ya bo Russia and Ukraine and all stuff, batho ba itse gore ke maketa Russia wa bana. So ne khona re ha ntsa mpona ba re one of a tycoon. So you are a Russian tycoon. So I understood that, okay, I'm a Russian tycoon. Yeah, that's what I understood. Okay, I'm a Russian tycoon. One of the days the Russian tycoon. You are a Russian tycoon. So here you go le baby like ebe re ipitsa Russian tycoons because ne ke dumela hore re marketa Russia but a humileng mo pelong a tlhaloganya a humile ebile mo tsamaong ya nako re na le vision ya go ipona nako ngwe re dirile sengwe re le ba humiela ba batona more like Ferguson family and all stuff, you understand? So nako ke tebeng ke motsa ke gone ke tebeng a bitswa ka leina la me la go gaetso, you understand? So the Russian tycoons, Russian tycoons just because my brother and beat a Russian tycoon.
Yeah, let's speak to her briefly. Lala, let me talk to you. You know, there's a lot of. I know you don't like talking. I think this is the thing people don't get about Lala. She doesn't like talking too much. You know, and I like that about her.
Yeah, she doesn't like talking when she sees people, but early to you.
Obviously, yeah. I think that's the story of every other boyfriend out there. Yeah. So, Lala, hi. Welcome to the show. Hello. Yeah. So, this guy, he's telling us a lot of stories about Russian tycoon, what, and so on and so forth. I think this will be the first time people probably hear you talk. How would you first introduce yourself as a Russian tycoon? Yeah, keep going. So you met her?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to ask this question because I think it's a question everyone has always wanted to know. This met her where? Yeah, go ahead. You were still introducing yourself. Yeah, and how's the journey so far? You know, especially on your end. A lot of people are saying this, that since you've met him, you've continued to inspire a lot of different people. There's a sense of, you know, how can I put it? There's a sense of purpose to you, I would say. I'm just trying to find a way in which I could explain how I understood what they're saying.
Okay. Since I met Bukamoso, yeah, botshelo ba ka bo changile thata. Because I have my own page, you see. So yeah, no batho ba kgona go bona gore this is Lala ga batla go bua free wa bona. Ga ke under control ya motho mongwe wa ntshwara ke rayang. So yeah. Ke free hela le nna ke ira se ke se batlang on my page. Yeah, gape ga ke tlhaloganyetse dingwe ba re he go rile so yeah, I don't understand. Bone ke bona ba ba mpona ke ntse yalo gore wow o changeile ga o se pholo ntse yana o ntse yana bona so le nna ke ntse ke tla ka ipona gore yeah ke ntse ka change ga ikise ke helele go change ke se ke go change.
Of course. Yeah. And what do you wish to see, you know, continually going forward in this journey that the both of you are taking?
I'm this person like yeah, I prepare for tomorrow, but it's a muscle
I see. So this is the question for the both of you. When did you guys meet yourselves?
Meet like.
When was the first time you saw her?
First time I saw her was on social media.
Yeah.
Kimonaka previous relationship ya. So I once hosted them go Pico go Magpie. I think that was the first time I saw her. Kiba hosted go Pico go Magpie because nagila ambassador ya shop ya Magpie. So by then negitile kiba tsisitse hela because negiba tle gore okay ke motho ke like you said ke motho ke ratang go share.
Of course. Yeah.
So yeah, so negibiditswe ke ambassador but mo sharing ya ka be okay let me call batho ba harologananyana so ne le nako a bone batle. So na kwa teng hampolella re na le mimana but na I didn't know again. So by the time gora gore nna ke ba thusa ke ne ke ba tsitse ke ke bolelela the management gore no do this ba bata pizza so ke a monela di pie ke answer no ke bata pie ha hetse ke ro bata engwe are ke monele engwe wa bana so wa ja so na ke itse gore re kante kwa na tsoteng gore re go gongwe ne ba nile di kgang gore re wa crave mo ha kre na ke itse akere so gore hospitality aga by that time hell mara re sa bui sepe you get akere ke gona mpolelela re ntse re kopane so e be re kopane ba go hella gona ho e be ka ta ke kopana le yena gape ana le a previous boyfriend ke ta ke tsoko toronko ka event ya ka show ya ka ile ke tswela mo toronko le tsile ke le mo toronko na ke na le event go United Lounge so
how are you organizing that from
that's a long story. You know, yeah. I had communication inside, but you know it's not allowed. You know, so
I mean, of course,
you know, yeah. So I had communication. I check you, lady. Do this because I had money. You understand? Do this. United.
Yeah. So you're organizing an entire show from inside the prison?
Yeah, inside the prison. So I was organizing my show. So Negitusuage Ntonka, aka Raymane, my brother, udira comedy lane. So, but from the inside, near Hakasarate, I call. I wanna go Iragalana one Dagaratia, and more sharp Gabataya. I want to so you copan lane go event. I created the thing was copan lane go event. Yeah, that's when I copan lane happy and I let the guy buying to mela. So Naniki next Namat only to find out the Malova Hela she's been following me. Like she's been she's my fan.
Or you?
She's my fan.
Okay.
Or like have one anger like kind of baby lane uchanela she grew up in a poor family. I tell her to leave the phone in the video that in the time make about leave the take a family. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, na pele ne ponono le ne tabelang thauta gore ke mmone kae. So yeah. Ne ke le go bus renke gone mo gaboroni mo.
Yeah.
Ke ha hita gone ha le ka di shop a pere ka pirate. So ne ke le fana gape ne ponono ne ke tshaba di celebrity ne ke batho ba ne ba ise ba nkitse so ke mmona helana go bus renke ya ine lantanta ke mmona be ke go mmona go phiko go magpie go diphaing be ke ta ke mmona gape go United Lounge.
So yeah. So Malobaro company le stand, you know. Yeah, this thing started as a stunt.
Yeah, so you're pranking people. That's not funny.
Yeah, it was not funny because it was not a joke. It's serious now.
Yeah, but it taught. I think it taught us something. Here's the thing. There was a time, you were with her, and she was calling. You were calling some dude, and she was asking that guy, where were you? And then that guy was lying on the phone like, no, I'm telling you.
and
that's a story for another day. Continue, yeah.
Yeah, so Haganalene, like it started as a stunt again. So Haganalene, na to the hell honestly. Near Haganale Laruna, Kitsorno, this is business. So I want Kisimon like one alarna catava to one. So you can't hang Motadamo Chara Hera as a bad to one and Kidibi, one so Kore. Guess it then like you want to this Galiano like Nagirimoto Hanga, I learn Nagamara the Hanga Gamusipians or okay, Larnax Muto or other, but I think hella and hell because now provoke. I want so. Yeah. I can't bonsa ka design so larna change le hell
and if you don't mind, when was this? Was it before or after?
No,
or
during the stand.
Okay.
I get a ke mo hadi picture ara di post. Ha ke send the picture ene kwa wa di level la go ra ba bona re lady wa bona so horror happy, but one of can I like social media and influence. Abana Batswana ba rata go maragaraga. Nako e re kopaneng ka yone. I remember le life re go ja ka bana. We faked everything. So, kante na against ke fake amogere na fake.
Just so you get it, let me explain this for you so that you get it. These two, Lala and Binian, the whole time when you seeing him posting her and her posting him, correct me if I'm wrong, you are not dating.
Yeah.
The first time we see the both of you in pictures at that place where you had a bottle of something that is big like this.
Champagne.
Yeah. That time you were not dating.
We were not dating.
And you gave people the impression that you were.
That we were dating.
Okay. Now you get it.
Yeah, so that's it. I get it. Second life, I know but le gore no, okay, I get it ra fake. So second time, hela harisuna kya no more. I saw one, yeah,
I saw the hammer as you were.
This kiss I say amara juoten kya this is something else, yeah, no, I want. Lena no korle ka han tshwarang ka teng ya no hera la re iketlile wa bona at first na tshaba go ntshwara wa bona so yeah the thing ya no e dirileng gore ya no re simolla go jola ya no ke go ntse go sama
Just so I'm sure.
Baby aba mpotsa gore
2-3 days after you met at that place, we met, right?
ho ka re jola take go bolele story.
Okay.
Then baby aba mpotsa gore ro pretend go itlhella le
Yeah.
kana le nna ka iuta potso ya gore tota mme le nna ka ipotsa gore kante mme gore ro pretend go itlhella le and then gape ka ro ha ile gore ke prank gape le rona ka ra bona re mme go re khitse di feelings go re itse rona go ntsang ka ha nna ke tlhalogantseng ka teng mongwe le mongwe tile a ntsa tana le maikuto it's just that nna ke tsa ile business le ena sa batho go mpontsha hela ha ne le ka tsamao ya nako hela nge be re sa simologana re postane before re se re joke a tlhaloga so nna no be ke simola le nna ke nna addicted mo go ke rata ke motho ke ratang go tsa motho a mme sharp wa bona so ke nna addicted ke simolla go rata ya no wa bona go mo tsa sharp dio tse dingwe ela nna ke go letse mo kasi wa bona dio tse dingwe ela go irela cherry go re bo re mo re ha le palama mo kole o bula le bati a tsena o tsala wa bona so ke bona dio tse di monate wa bona so le ena se tsa enjoy a khona go boha kholenyana go le sky gore a re tsama ha le be boholo ha gore ke bohe a bona so e be ke le mo gore o cherry ra ratana enditse gona na ke tlhaloganya gore gona le motho ka re kgaganya wa tshwara ke raya so gape mo gongwe hela hirile a share story sa golen and then e no go mpaledisa gore ya no ke simolle gore na le ene ya no re ka kgawagana or something because I felt the pain she went through wa bona so be ke feel gore okay le nna ha ke dira yana be ke mo disappointed wa bona because ona le bothoko bo bontsi mo pelong wa ntshwara so it's not easy for a lady you understand so yeah.
I know you're smiling, and is there anything you want to say to that?
He said everything.
So because the question I have is this, lad, okay, and hear me clearly. A lot of times, and I know how sensitive this would be. A lot of times, people don't get to understand how life gets to unfold because of many of the things that unfolds destiny. That, for example, you would have this picture where I would want to go this way, and certain things happen in life that redirects your life a certain way. I think you were telling me the other time we were together, where you were a person who has grown to being in this moment and enjoying this moment and finding what to do in this moment, because tomorrow you never know where life is gonna take you. And the question I wanna ask you is because when you look at yourself where you are now, you look happy. To be honest, you do look happy. I'm not saying comparison. You do look happy as a person, and a lot of people like to see you as a person individually on your own and so on and so forth. The space where you find yourself right now, was it something that at any point in your life you thought you would find yourself here?
Yeah. Neke nna ke lora gore one day ke tlo nna happy. Ebile le batho ba ditsala tsa ka and everybody neke nna ke ba bolella gore a kere a kore ga ke batla go riana, but let me say this. Every time e ne re ke ntse ke le mo dikgwethong tse ne ke dira le tsele e be le gore my friends ba le ka go advise gore hey la go ntsa yana, so I always tell them gore let's can just wait for it. Nako e le gore yone straight modimo empetse tata kore like hey yeah
I get you.
nako e modimo empetse gore ke tona happy ne le one ya gore lala by that time o tabole happy le na learned something from my previous the way I get like Atlanta, I learned something from the trouble. So modimo na mpetse this time for this time la le tona happy. Ke nna ke tshela ka hope like ke mphelo re ke tshela ka hope gore one day go tlo go nna yana gona le nako ene gore le me take you example nna nako ene re ga ntse mo botshelong letsatsi le ke lo alora ka lona gore ke batla go bo ke invite batho ba yana go ntse yana le yana o tshwana and it's happening now. So yeah ke mphelo re ke tshela ka hope nna gore ha go ga go gore ka nna nako ene ke akanya gore ke tona happy killing batho ke lo akanya gore tona happy
at some point. Very powerful, yeah.
Yeah, and the time battle go magpie go pick, I was on drugs and I was on drugs and I was depressed, you know. And by that time, neki muthu sa ka ha ke ba ga go ja di drugs wa man, and she told me right now gore na bona. Gore na bona wa bona, so because you know, growing up Mokasi is not easy, you understand? Because every substance when you are hurt or when you are in pain, you take that thinking that okay, this is the right thing, you understand? But no, that's not the right thing. You need to find space, and try to be happy. You need to connect with the universe, make peace with the universe. You need you need your own space on no one hell and then rebuild yourself.
Right, yeah.
Because by that time, I think I told her like last year, I needed something like a rehab. I needed something like you understand? So yeah, in prison, yeah, but okay, I'm here. Why am I here? You understand?
The moment to rethink and recollect yourself.
That's when he like talk when you kopana le batho ba bana ba ba nne le mathata ba bangwe ba patele ditsweng ba bangwe ba bothale wa bona le nna ka ke rapela. I had 30 days to pray. You understand? All mo tronko wa gona se 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 dira 30 days yo mo botshelong hela in general. It's something of 2 years. I'm telling you the truth. It's 2 years. Loro ba like 4
p.m.
4 p.m. La tsengwa mo teng. What do you do? Le sa ga di steak or re tsa majita ba bana le di case ba ngwa ba go hama tsipa. Okay, this and this and this go and do and this and this and this.
Sa ga steak ora eng?
I'm sorry.
Because me, I'm like.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Le tsaya di kgang. So I do remember ke le mo toronko ne le show ya makhazi eto na kwante. And ne go betsa ruta mo toronko. Gore makhazi 1 2 3 1 2 3 and toronko ena le sephiri sa yone. Toronko ke le hatselele. Toronko e tsore sephiri sa le hat. There are a lot of things tse di ragala mo toronko ntse le gore kwanta ga kwa dite. Gona le sephiri sa sentse mo toronko ebile gona le seriti sa sentse because you meet different people, you meet different men ba eleng gore ba bangwe they have boma 10 years mo thateng as a have sex. You understand? They don't exchange energy with anybody. You understand? So you meet those kind of people, bale fresh and all stuff. So seriti hela, but wa barapela. You meet but wa barapela gore modimo ntuse ke bata go. You meet different people and that's why ke go bolela ke gore when you go to prison you will realize it's not like everyone is clean outside. You understand? Not for even you can go to prison tomorrow.
But God forbid, yes.
Yeah,
but
no, yeah, you understand. So I want to to write because everybody can
100%,
go
yeah.
to prison. Why is Jubu? He's an artist. We the Torongo. Why? Because we to live. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's not like what Torongo we se pesa ga ope. Sengwe le sengwe hela le pampiri ka go tsenya mo Torongo. You understand? Pampiri hela paperwork motho a kwalela re wa nkolot. A be se go di sheriff be di bua di tsena bo tsa go gate motho ka moso botse gore mo Torongo. You understand se ke bua ka sona? So a gona pe o tshwantse o ratse ope less than yo go letse mo kasi yo ha go lela mo kasi le ene le ke kopana le ke mo tlhaloseditse botshelo jaka na I grew up like this and I grew up ke say my dad yeah, so my dad is from Zimbabwe Salantirile 96 and then he went back to Zim, so I was raised by a single parent. You understand? Only dia ka gena mo Chandos, I think they know hey, lenako ha ke le mo dion tsa metse be ke re ngwana mo Chandos, they know my mom more than, and you understand? That's why I do tsaka ke le ka gore batho ba ditse thata go hitisa because I have important people. She is important, my mom is important. Gore ke na le sekele le nyaka wa bona. So le dio tse dingwe hela ke te ke bolele batho re tse di tswang go kasi I use them mo go se ke se dirang sa comedies. You understand? Le nako ene re senya go na le dio tse ke di dirisa mara ke sa di dirise ke senya ke di dirisa maybe you know this thing ya batho ba tsietsa batho ya dipana that thing those guys they come and they plot their guys ba plota maliti ba le 3 again wa ta bo plota batho ba le 3 and then you just do that thing o ebe yo mongwe ba re o be go supa le ite aga go ntsa 50 pular ke bone ke yo gore power win no bo monela 200 win so yo tang yena ta tsena go hide ha simolla ntsha madi that's when late la dirang ba hit betsa go molago a go dira ka go dirang ka te so le nna I do that ha ke tile ke to perform go maybe go te penene ya kana ke khona re ke tabe ke performela yene ne ke khona tabe ke performela yene go te yene o teng go ne ha masisi teng no for mo le fiu teng se mama o teng I just go there e be ke plota malita ke ba le 3 e be ke ne lo mo 200 e be ke ho mo 100 pula be ke ho mo 20 pula be ke ro mo ke mara ke ha ke betse jukwanta ke bata o ta betsa mogolo kana bo la thela 200 so hala thela 200 that's when ke simolla go controlla bo president batho ba bantsi ba ba sa itsore ke ire ba bana ba sa itsore ke ploti so that's when ha ngwa ke ithele ke dirile bo ma 8000 hela di getso ha gare hela not the money e ke charging government. You understand? Because my government that's why ke gore ke re when you are from Kasi you don't have to take that thing and use it against people, you just have to use that thing mo di camera. You have to do that, and right now narabata go shoot a movie gore people are going to be amazed. You understand? So yeah, I give a do Kasi to do that. No, I use Kasi in a good way.
Life, yeah. 100%. And let's get here because I think this will be the last part of the conversation. You spoke Kantila about the importance of mental health. At some point you were depressed and you did drugs. I think a lot of young people today, artists, most celebrities actually apparently do drugs and we don't even know about it. There's a lot that's going on around the world. How to have for most people, there's so many thoughts that come into their mind. A lot of things are going on, and where we are, people don't know how to cope. They don't even think it's something that can actually come out of. And I think you've had your own fair share of it, but you did the best you could to be where you are now. So let's talk about this, especially for somebody who's listening. This is the part for them to learn. You know, the young people that from Zolamdeni and most of these similar places around the country. I mean, where you grew up, I've seen that place, and it's always when you cross the railway line. Have you noticed, like, if you cross a railway line anywhere in this country, you get into Zolamdeni, anywhere. So there is those people from there that are destroying. You know, they could potentially become better at a lot of things, but these are some of the things that they don't reach where they could have in that time. Okay.
To somebody but there is the drugs and they think that the drugs and all stuff but not depressed, they don't know what to do. In this life there are two things. it's either you laugh or you cry. So one thing is when you cry, that's why comedy mo Botswana ile yone itumile more than the artist. Hirile runya hela di comedian tsotlhe tso di itseng di page tse di tona di comedian tsotlhe ga gona o kare ha yo a isumona na le kolo yo a isumona so comedy le runya be runya gere so leso ha motho a thokagala mongwe le mongwe mo utlwela bothoko. So if you cry and then try to tell somebody o ileng gore hana wena o go tshega, best way is for you gore we ka all of one try to find, because nowadays go bolela motho o mongwe it's not cool, and o khona go ithala go boleletse motho o mongwe a ba yo go tshega a ba tla tlima ruta bothoko ha o ipolaile. And one thing so tshwantseng gore o se dire, find time, just know that life is life. That's you, that's your own book. Write your own book, you understand? Be you, and then otse de nyelo about okay I want to heal, find time otso hagara ga batho, because most of the time how it's too expensive, but when you are alone it's cheap. How lo ko lapeng la ha reka dijo ko black or ko stairs la ha wa pile pitsanyana phaletshe ya ga ko lapeng, ha lo ko lapeng lo it's cheap. But how ka tswella o tsana ha gare ga batho rona le mathata, you're going to see those di go depress and zelo ro ko pana le zelo gore wa di eletsa mo botshelo di for party a thunya kwa malitinyana ba ba minyane mo go yana ba go gatella, you just thinking gore okay nke be le nna litinyana kante why na life en khatela. But when you're home you're gonna realize gore okay go itima batho 2 minutes and then you work mo botshelong ja ga gore okay I'm penene ke bothokang hela ke le why, you understand? And then just be you one ha tso bore ke penene sele and then you collect yourself le na go ngwe yo ro sena na ha tso bona ro itse go antse ke sena diaparo, because o le mo go di dinyenyane, you understand? So that's why he rile nna ke tswa mo tronkong ke sena na ke tsena after the scene tsa ka tsa ba mo lepola I went back home. I went back home to Pigwe to see botshelo ja toropo from a distance. Sengwe sengwe se ne se diragala ke ntse ha ke khakala, so life ya gaps it's too fast. Maleti ba ira sengwe le sengwe ba ke ba di tse din depressa ha ke ba tere ke ntse ke le haebe ebe ke tsa ba ke school ya tantare arfai go spend 10,000 mo wena na lantsa ja 10,000 le nna ke ntse ke smile mo pelo ke ntse ka re kante nna wa ke sa kgone go ira yana ke depress ha ke boela kwa lapeng ke le one. And most of the time how la gare ga batho they won't give you money, they won't help you, they will use you to brag, they will use you o le late eleng gore o tshwantse gore o tsamaye super success ya bona. You have to go around those tsa dinepe ore re iketlile ke na le bo go itsimang, and that time o tsa profile a motho mongwe o isa go godimo. And when we team about or okay I'm penene ha ke ba di drugs ha ke ba te sepa ha ke ba to go ga ke iphana ke tsa break mo diontse, you just take break, go back home. Go nna mo lapeng my brag go bolele nnete a se sepe se se thata, and rona re ba to re malatsi tse be re na re deal, and life outside is very expensive.
Of course, yeah. 100%. My man, thank you very much for coming tonight, and thank you for bringing Lala over here on the show. A lot of people, especially my team, I keep telling people all the time that this guy is here. If there's a person they've always wanted to meet, more than you, I mean, no offense.
No, I didn't say this, you know, I didn't say this on cameras. Like, Hagenskili depressed, I started following him. I started, he recommended to him on okay, Khutsafalo. I didn't know him at all. I do remember I send a message like
you called me. This guy called me in the middle of the night. Okay, keep talking.
Because I was far away from gaps, and to do that, you know these things, you know, so a Brazil no can charge no. So I create this thing of fame, but we don't know how to talk. So by that time ke thusitswe ke gore okay wa nkitsa I don't know it's Benina but okay my guy what's up ha ke ntse ke ketlile ke bona go thunya bo Forbes by that time ke ntse ke tsamaya dio tsa go ke a lebella ke ithuta how poster sengwe that business idea just give it a chance ke a bona ba poster ke a bona or okay that idea that comes mothalogonya go just give it ke a bona so ha ke ntse ke ketlile ke bona message are you around gaps so ke a tola ano kana ke one ano gore Mr. Man nna ke ntse ke tota yana gore e bile a ka kanya gore ka ntha be ke re okay no ke mo Phikwe yana le yana ba ntha okay if you are not around Phikwe no or if you are around gaps mpolelle da 1 2 3 okay ke ta bua le na ba go tsana konyana na go ngwa ke ntse ke ketlile ke tsana mo di message a ke tsore ne ke sendetse ke ma message hela ke check ke itela sendetse e-wallet out of nowhere eseng ke go sendetse e-wallet ya teng ile ya maloba a bona so ke a bona ke ano a ke re maina a kgaoga ke a bona JK Khutsafalo what's happening yana ke mang wa bona ke akanya gore ke mongwana a bata ke mo direla se so that's when e be ke simolla anong ha ke ntse ke le mo Facebook ke bona JK yo le ano gore oh bra ke mo follow wa ke ena ntsendetse madi be ke letsa thank you so much that's when ano ha ke ntse ke le go Phikwe kwa le kereke ke tsena kereke thata kwa that's when ano o to bona gore ke kopane le la go ntse ke nna ke a mo post and then be ke mo leletsa by that time nna ke kwa lapeng like I'm healing and ke ketlile ke re okay ho ke sharp wa kere but do dialogue ke ntse ke a rialo ke le one do dialogue ha ke letsa lala okay tell I'm sorry ke postile senepe sa go hope you won't mind so go nya gona mathata be ke okay here's the thing what about the social media re thakathakanya o poster so that re dira gore batho ba ne confused so lala on poster yana ke le khakala so ha ke mo poster so be ke bona gore okay attention ya batho ke ya half loss that's it I'm here with you and we met maloba go wimpi gape you know
in 4 days you rallied 100,000 people to follow Lala. In 4 days. Man, it's like
it was 4 days or 3.
Oh, less 3 or 4 days. And you had 100,000 people follow that. Man, I mean, guys, thank you very much for coming to the show. I think one of the things that it's a take home for me, it's we judge a lot. Because we see things that we don't understand, and sometimes when you sit down, you hear the stories of people, you get to see why certain things happen. In fact, you start having some level of grace to those people to say, hey man, actually this could have been much better. Is there English like that? Better than that. Too much. Better. Bad to the west. Okay, it could have been worse, but it wasn't. I think one of the things I keep seeing you doing, which I'm really proud of, I haven't told you this, I'm really proud of how you are handling attacks on social media. I saw some people starting to post about you, provoking you, and you're handling all of those things with maturity. I've seen how you continually help. The other day, I don't know, somebody, I think this should be, I don't remember the time, but it was at the middle of the night. Somebody sent me an inbox. And she has a mom who's hospitalized and then they need blood donation at that time. And she asked me to post to rally people to help her. And I knew for sure that I can't help. There isn't that many people. So the first person I thought about was yourself. And you didn't even refuse. You took that post, you put out there. The same night, there was over 30 people countrywide willing to help. And the next day, that same person had, I think, six or so people, giving their blood to that. I think that's I told you this. That's the power.
I think that's the thing that. So because we send it along ho, we post. And then I just posted her, and then everyone about what they know. And then that's the thing about and stuff for so
and I'll say that again, mate. I think for some time you may not say this. I think it's for all of us. You may have power that you don't see, and I think Lala said the same thing earlier, that she hears people saying, hey, you are this, you are that, but she doesn't see herself or consider, doesn't even feel it in herself. I think this is a thing that is in all of us. We call it an impostor syndrome, where you are doing great, but it doesn't connect with you enough to see that you're actually doing great.
Yeah.
You may have over 300, almost 400,000.
I have 409,000 followers.
409,000 followers. 400, do you know 400, where can we put 409,000 followers? The people that are watching us, all of them, if you were to take them into a hall and they sit and we talk to them, we will need to hire maybe the UBE indoor stadium. So you have almost 40% or so, is it? Yeah, almost 20%, 30% of the population of the country following you because there's what they see in you. And one thing I wish for the both of you is that you get to a point where you see what that means to you. The fact that you could post like that and people move into donating blood to save a life, it says a lot. It says a lot. And I wish you all the best in the things that you are doing. So what are you up to now? What's going on?
Right now, like we're having a show, 18 go rapper, one-man show. I've been doing one-man show comedy. You know, I'm doing music, comedy. So next week, Wednesday, you go Capello, just come for free. Just come go Capello, better comedy, but from here, Raha China restaurant. There is a comedy show. I don't know.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So I really telling her China restaurant has CVD room 52. We're going to do a comedy. It's comedy night. So I'm going to do my set there to support my boys, both Trixie. I'm more line up, but I'm going there from here. Yeah, support. You know.
Yeah, Lala haje makaka we go boleletse.
Lala wa ja rata ona makaka we right. Ebile go ja ena ene ke ena ja na ebile like I can ke khoma dio tseo. I just do gona le drink engwe ba bitsa ba re Tsintao.
So what do you want?
Tsintao ikwadilwela Tsintao. Lo ene ke Setswana hela wa bona mphe Tsintao ke.
No, but you must have. I think you must have like a Chinese accent to Tsintao.
Yeah. There is a Chinese accent, but nakibala Setswana ikwa ikura go wa tsepela.
No, Tsintao.
Like why bona Tsintao ke chonga mponga ya Tsintao ke what Tsintao.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have never seen you do. I know I can say I'm placing the procedure
stand-up comedy.
Producer Azabaru kill me for this. Do you think there's a future for stand-up comedy in this country?
For this country, there is no future. But as youth, we have to try by all means to make future for stand-up comedy. You understand? Malitinyana ba rona ba tshwanetse ba ithela at least re segile mothalo a bona ba ka bo 2090 malitinyana bona ba yana but they ithela gona le future. You understand? By that time there will be new kids on the block or not really legends go tena gona le penene ponono maybe again it's about 2090 has to go jega, you know, go tena gona le penene ponono. He was a stand-up comedian in Irayana and this, you understand? But we need support from the government, you know, because stand-up comedy, you understand? Even the money kana high-lord nelo South Africa, let me say, when I interview le Trevor, no. So, but you know, I'm not Trevor, do it you understand? So let the government support our the show so he's the best stand-up comedian in South Africa of now. Okay, saying, I can't say he's the best stand-up comedian in the world, but yeah, you know, he's almost top 5 or top 3 or whatever. So yeah, I think we need to work hard, like, but government support so that we do stand-up comedy, because now honestly that's the thing. You know, Nge be ke sa opele. Ko re talent tse ke nang le tsona nge be ke di shut down and then I focus on stand up comedy. You understand? But soon kancane batho ba la tlhaloganya. Wa bona ke ra.
100%.
Yeah.
Baby, thank you very much for coming here. It's an honor and a privilege to sit down with you, to hear your mind, to hear your story, to celebrate the work that you do. I think we should do this again on radio.
No problem. No problem.
Let's take a quick break. When you come back, we're going to say goodbye-byes. And remember, next week, Thursday, we're landing live and direct in the Kingdom of Lesotho.
Meaningful sponsorships improve lives. That's why we create and support initiatives that make a real difference by engaging, inspiring, and uplifting communities. It's just one of the ways Hollard ensures better futures. Meaningful sponsorships improve lives. That's why we create and support initiatives that make a real difference.
And remember, we did have Amantle Mamsi Moremi when we began the show, who was telling us her story and the work that she does at BIC, and having represented the country on a platform like the 4th State and the 30 Summit. And we just had another conversation with Bokamoso Ntompe, aka Penene Ponono, aka the Russian tycoon. He's also here on the studio with Lala Larona. And one of the days, I think we're going to have to call Lala up to talk about herself. I think I give her about 9 months. Yeah, trust me. I told her this the other time, that we're reaching a stage where organizations, and for all of you who are influencers out there, you better listen to this. We're reaching a stage where organizations will not be able to do anything that reaches the people unless they involve an influencer. And I keep advising all of you that the best thing you could do as an influencer is to build value around yourself, build value and principles, not principles in terms of rules and laws that you follow, but also align with the mandates of many different organizations. People that want to protect children, and you also have the passion for children, speak about those things. You know, people that wants to take children out of drugs, and you are passionate about the same thing, align yourself with all of that. I think this is what works for a lot of us right now, because the things that we do on behalf of many other different brands is because we reach the people they want to reach. Even if they wanted to do it for themselves, they know they can't reach 100,000 people in 3 hours. I mean, there was a time I watched Benini put up a picture. I think it was within 2 minutes, there was at least 4,000 or 5,000 people who already liked it. And what does that say? I had a chance also to see the back end of their pages. Lala, I think, reaches at least 1 or 2 million people in 28 days. I think the same thing is true, if not more, for Penini as well. There's a future for this kind of brands, and let's keep supporting what they're doing. But on the quick updates, like I said, next week on the 18th to the 21st of August 2022, we're going to be landing with the team right in Lesotho, and we have so many different events that are lined up. I think today I'm happy to talk about them. On that Thursday, we're not doing anything except this show, and then on the Friday morning, we're going to be in the Lesotho TVs and also radio stations. The same day at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be at the Christian CRC Lesotho in Katlehong that very morning. Please, this is an intervarsity event, so we have all the universities in Lesotho coming together to attend that event. So this is the GJK Africa Tour, and it's the Career and Business Development InterVarsity Conference, which is hosted by the Botho University in Lesotho. CAS is going to be coming. Limpopo Queen University is going to be there. IDM University as well is going to be there. We're hoping to have thousands of people in that event. And the same evening, we're going to be having a mini book launch of Think Like an Entrepreneur, Act Like a Prostitute, and many surprise books that I'm going to be launching for the very first time in Lesotho, and also actually in my life. And then the next morning of Saturday morning, we're going to be having a meeting with business owners and aspiring business owners in the city of Maseru, Lesotho. I do invite you, please, if you are nearby or you want to be a part of those events, hit up on our website, launchitinternational.com, or inbox my page, wherever you're watching this broadcast from. There's no ticket in any of the events. So all you have to do is sign up with whoever you know who can get you inside, and we'll see you when we get to Lesotho. Finally, Project 124 registration is closing on the 2nd of September. So if you're still out there, you still want to learn about how to start a business, how to build whatever it is that you want to build, that's the platform for you. So make sure that you register for all our programs. We have a program for freshers. If you have zero business experience, make sure that you are getting in there. I mean, did you see yesterday? Is it yesterday or this morning? Razotoko opened a business. Wow. It's called Razotoko PTY, Razotoko Investment, PTY Ltd. That's what I'm talking about. I think very soon we're going to be seeing Russian tycoon, PTY Ltd. I mean, we're doing a lot of groundwork underneath. So a lot of you who also want to get into that space of business, there's a freshers program for you. If you are a business owner as well, we have the high growth business the program that's going to be there happening. We signed a memorandum of agreement with the HubSpot Academy, with HubSpot actually, which gave us access to the HubSpot Academy, HubSpot certification tools, digital tools that are going to help you to build your own website. All of this, learn how to do social media the right way, how to do all of this, and learn all of these skills for free. The only thing you have to do is to be a part of Project 124. This is us trying to go out there on your behalf. This is our show for tonight, and until next week, Thursday.